Topic is the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, and we're talking to the president of the NAACP, Reverend Vernon Dixon. And of course, Reverend Dixon, before we had our commercial break, we promised that we would give you an opportunity to talk about the NAACP. Let's talk about the structure of that organization. I think you've already mentioned the fact that this is only a branch and that you have branches all over the nation. Let's talk about how all of those branches come together and what you're able to achieve through the structure that you have.
The NAACP is a membership organization, and our work is accomplished through our committees. It is our committee structure that is important to the success that the national organization has had over the years. We have 18 standing committees, which cover a wide range of issues and give people a lot of opportunities to be able to come in and to focus. Our agenda is really set by the national office that meets once a year in their national conventions where resolutions are brought forth and put forth the agenda. When I look at the agenda for this year, certainly issues around voting continue to be at the forefront. Our economic condition within the country and how the impact of the war has taken place. Education continues to be a major initiative of the branches that all across the country as we continue to try to find ways to make access for persons of color, children of color and their families to get the quality education. A new issue that has been coming up and has certainly been in the news in this area is environmental racism, where we're looking at the dump sites and chemicals that have been left in poor communities. So our agenda is set by the national office and then comes down through our regional and ultimately through the state conventions, passing down then to the local branches. Local branches still have an opportunity, though, to set their own agenda and address issues because we're in the community and all communities are different. The issues, while there are issues like education and where we have common concerns in this area, one of the issues that we've been looking at is issues of disparity, particularly as it relates to health disparity and economic conditions within this community. Currently, the Nashville branch is very active in our education and looking at what's, we are 5 years, we're in the 5th year, the end of the desegregation plan. We're continuing to monitor the conditions within our school systems. There are those who are concerned and feel as though our schools are beginning to resegregate. And we're looking at ways to keep that from happening and trying to also find ways to enhance the student achievement. So that's a very active issue for us. The other issues around health. We're looking at as a part of the national agenda, but in this particular area, concerns around environmental issues as to how it affects poor people. And a lot of our attention and efforts have been around Mahara General because a number of people in our community are there, and how we look at issues of funding and how we gain access and what's happening in those particular areas. Another area that we have been spending some time and discussion on in the community has also been just the overall access of persons of color and how it is that we educate people in the community as to the issues and to make sure that we continue to be at the table. We have reactivated on our college campuses in the community, college campuses at FIS and TSU, chapters there. We have got our youth committee back up. We're working now and putting our AXO program together, which is a training area for youth to prepare them for college and higher education. So there are a lot of great and exciting things that are taking place at the branch. But it does center, first of all, in membership.
Very good.
We will be having in October our annual radiothon where we'll be recruiting members to come in. We're trying to make sure that our office is ready to receive people who are coming. We're doing a great job, I think, in the branch now in making sure that the memberships that come in are processed in a good way. I'm very fortunate to have a great supporting representation in that branch. And if I might, I'd just like to single out a few people who have been elected. The Reverend Mark Freeman is the first vice president and is also working very hard with our religious affairs. Blondell Strong, Dr. Blondell Strong is the second vice president, and she really is coordinating our volunteer efforts in the office and making sure that our office is staffed and how we handle. James Barnett, who is the third vice president, has been heading up our personnel committee as we move to put staff in the office. We haven't had staff in the office in a couple of years, and I'm really excited about being able to, to have the staff, have the office staffed full time. Our secretary is Margaret Scrivens, who handles most of the work in the branch as far as getting the memberships and getting out notices and letting people go. And she's assisted by Ms. Sandra Hunter, and Tim Ayers is our treasurer, and he's assisted also by Mr. Hunter. So it is, so we have some good people in place. But we still need other people involved. Our religious affairs has really taken on initiative. A backbone of the NAACP has always been the church. And we are reaching out and trying to get more churches involved and helping us to disseminate the information that is out there. But there's still room for people who want to come and who want to work in our structure. People have to remember, though, that we are not really a program agency. We are more of an advocacy and a group that does monitoring. A lot of people think, with our legal redress, that there are a group of lawyers that are sitting in that they can come in and find a lawyer. What we do is we refer people and let people know, and our legal redress committee works hard to make sure that they're up on the issues and keeping a database of attorneys who might be able to address the other issues. I have taken upon, one of the things that I've tried to do is also to enhance the other organizations within this community that we can do collaborative efforts with, who may have some resources that we don't have, but who still are concerned about issues around civil rights.
Very good. And of course we're getting ready for this second commercial break, but when we come back, let's talk about the membership of the organization and what people might be able to do in order to assist you. Of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. The topic is